What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome to Extraordinary Critic. My name is Brandon Taylor, and we got my co-host, my boy Jacoby Smith.
What's poppin'?
And today we got interesting one. We are going to be talking about Menace to Society versus Boys in the Hood. We're going to debate and see which movie is better. What is the greatest hood movie of all time? So let's get into it. All right. So Jacoby,
Yo,
so you obviously you've seen these two movies, right? How many times you have seen these movies?
just about as many times as BET will play them. Uh, just about as many times that they'll be on the TV that at a function. I rarely watch them like on my own. Really, like, cause like them movies. Those are like movies that are like, those are like, those are like they're like real, like they're like the core. I don't know how to describe it. I just call them like they're real, like real close to the core of like black culture.
Yeah,
Just like there are movies that they're just like movies that are like be on kind of like like how to say Baby Boy would like be on TV a lot. So they were like a movie I ever got to like watch in full until I watched them like on my own. But like when I was saying like those like you know what I mean? Like I didn't watch the movies like on my own a lot.
I hear what you're saying. Like they're the ultimate black movie.
Yeah.
So it's by law to watch these movies.
Yeah, man.
So give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Yeah. Uh, so let's get into it. So all right. So these movies are 2 years apart. Boys in the Hood came out first in 1991, directed by the great John Singleton. May he rest in peace. Has an all-star cast. Um, Beginners, man, at the time. You got Cuban
For
Gooding
real.
Jr., Regina King, Ice Cube,
Yeah.
Morris Chestnut,
Yeah.
um, Nia Long, like so many people who are
Yeah.
very, very successful actors
Kind of
were
Lawrence Fishburne. What Lawrence Fishburne been in before that?
Lawrence Fishburne, out
He
Angela
been in a
Bassett,
couple things. And
yeah,
that's it. Damn.
all star cast, man. A lot of people in this movie, a lot of people. Um, but yeah, let's talk about Boys in the Hood first, then Men to Society, and then let's have a debate of which one's better.
Man.
So, Boys in the Hood came out in 1991 and directed by the great John Singleton. I think he wrote and directed this movie, and this is his debut film of his career.
Right.
And for his debut,
Okay.
man, he's one of those directors who put out a masterpiece as their debut. You had Quentin Tarantino, Reservoir Dogs, and you got him with Boys in the Hood. So it's very, very, very impressive what he could do at your age. Honestly, he was your age when he made this movie, so it was very, very impressive.
Damn.
So yeah, yeah, and it was Oscar nominated too. That's how great this movie is.
For real.
Um, so yeah, so Boys in the Hood, is about three boys from South Central, and you have Doughboy played by Ice Cube. You have Ricky played by Morris Chestnut, and you have Trey played by Cuban Good Jr. It's about them living in South Central and them trying to figure their way out of that living situation and want a better life. Um, Man, this movie is dark in so many ways. Uh, you know, I can see why Lawrence Fishburne and Angela Bassett took these roles because at this time they were pretty much established actors. They
Mhm.
wasn't superstars yet. So
Yeah.
I feel like I
That's
feel
the
like
clip of Lawrence Fishburne. He was a child actor for a little bit.
he was a child actor, and then he did a couple movies when he was Larry.
Mm.
And then this is the movie when he became Lawrence Fishburne. Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne didn't really become legend until like the 90s and 2000s. That's when they really became especially in the 90s. They really became legends.
For
They
real.
had so many great works, especially with Love God Do, the which we got to talk about in the future. Um, But yeah,
That's crazy
so
because I keep forgetting that that's Lawrence Fishburne as Ike Turner, bro. Because it's
yeah,
like
we're
it's
gonna talk
like
about that's gonna be our future episode. We're gonna talk about what's love got to do with it. But yeah, so this movie, like, it hit so many levels. It's more of a message story than just being. It's not a thriller. This is a deep message about everyday lives. This is basically about everyday life of an average person living in South Central. What it's like for these kids to wake up every day and pretty much fear for their lives. They don't know if their last day is going to be on this earth, and they have to get out of here. So, so this is a deep message about like them trying to get out of the situation. And it also had hit a lot of message too. That scene with Lawrence Fishburne talking to Trey and Ricky about gentrification and all that stuff, that was really a powerful scene because it's still relevant to this day.
hell yeah.
He was talking about how the government is putting stuff in the black neighborhoods to kill ourselves, the liquor stores,
Books,
the dollar
guns.
stuff, yeah, guns and stuff like that. And now watching Snowfall, we figure out how the government is getting the drugs and to
Hmm.
the United States and to the black community. So it's always been relevant in America, especially in the black communities. Um, but yeah, so Cuban Good Jr. in here, I can see why they chose him, but he was only like 10 years. He was only like 10 years younger than Lawrence Fishburne, which is crazy. If I'm not mistaken. How did you feel about his performance though, Cuban Good Jr.?
Feel like he did what he had to. He seemed to me as like an observer of like I feel like yeah, it was good to see the story through his eyes because he was really like an observer and a lot of shit really was going on around him. He had to make decisions. He had to he had split decisions, between like trying to make it out and really just falling victim or becoming a statistic and shit. And I feel like he portrayed it well. And yeah, he wasn't too bad. And I don't know what he did before that. I don't know.
He was
Been
in.
in the
I
game
know
for a
he.
minute, but yeah.
Yeah, he did a few stuff,
Like when this movie come
but
out?
this
Like
came out '91. So
91?
he was really young.
Okay.
And for everybody who's watching, I'm gonna establish this now. Boys in the Hood and Men Society are not gangster movies. Please stop making these movies gangster movies. These movies are not gangster
You
movies.
say so what classifies as a gangster movie?
New Jack City is a gangster movie. High level criminals doing high. That's a gangster is a high level criminal or a criminal that's doing gangster stuff.
Real.
These two movies are not gangster movies.
I feel that.
Men Society.
What about Menace to Society? I was gonna say.
It's a low level. They're low. They're just low level criminals doing like low stuff. But they're just hanging. They do stuff. I mean, they're bad people, but
But
they're
it
not
show, but it
gangsters.
show, what's his name? Is his name Kanan?
Kane is not a gangster.
But it showed how he was coming up from getting involved and shit.
No, he really like that.
He could jack the car.
New Jack City is a gangster movie. It's about gangsters doing high level stuff and
But he
cutting.
did. But Menace to Society did show bro dying from some gangster shit.
No, he got killed by
Some
other,
gangster
but
shit.
they're thugs.
Cause some gangster shit though.
Thugs and gangsters are two different things. They're not the same thing.
Oh,
Man Society is talking about thugs. Nino Brown's not a thug. Nino Brown's a gangster. It's two different things. You won't
for sure.
call Frank Lucas from American Gangster a thug. You'll call him American Gangster because he's a gangster. It's two different things.
For
So
sure.
I want everybody to stop calling Boys and Hood and Men Society gangster movies. They're not gangster movies. They are hood movies. They're two different things. New
I guess.
Jack City is not a hood movie. New Jack City is a gangster movie.
I guess.
It's about the rise and fall of Nito Brown
Yeah.
and CMB
Yeah.
selling high level drugs and took over a whole building and had the cops come out. That's a gangster, man. Goodfellas, they're a bunch of gangsters.
What about a Bronx Tale?
That's not even a gangster movie.
Oh my gosh,
That's
bro.
not even a gangster movie. Bronx Tale is a coming of an age story. It's about a young man trying to figure himself out while he got two father figures in his life. That's not a gangster story.
Okay.
One of the father figures is a mob boss, but it's not like, but he's it's not about gang stuff. It's not about gangster stuff. It's not really a crime story. And as they go along, you got to talk about racism in that factor too. So it's not really Goodfellas is a gangster movie. The whole movie is about doing crime,
Yeah.
killing, stealing. So that's the crime.
Yeah.
Mental Society is
Okay,
about
when you put it like that, for sure.
yes. Mental Society is about a bunch of thugs. They're very violent, but they're not like the gangster level. They're just thugs, just really
You
hanging
saying like a
around.
gangster movie is like a movie like basically like depicted around like
Like New
gang
Jack City,
activity and shit.
like New Jack City. Like I said, it's a gangster movie because it's about Nita Brown, who comes up to be a high level criminal,
Right.
and he has an organization. Right? That's a
Mhm.
gangster. That's not a thug. The thugs are like low level criminals. This is like a high level criminal. Like he's on the radar of every police in New York City who wants to get this dude.
Right.
We talking about undercover cops and all that stuff. That's a high level criminal. That's what I'm saying. Like Boys in the Hood and Men Society are not gangster movies. They're they're hood movies, but they're like a violent, dark coming of age story. Because both movies are about teenagers. Kane is 18, and them kids are 18.
Mhm.
So yeah, so everybody stop calling them two movies gangster movies. That gets on my nerves. New Jack City, it's a gangster movie. So back to the subject. So watching this, I recently watched Boys in the Hood again to refresh my mind. And every time I watch, spoilers, everybody would. It shouldn't be a spoiler. Everybody know this, but
Yeah.
Ricky's death was one of the saddest things I ever saw in cinema history, man. It was really, it was really, really sad seeing him go like that. And what makes the death hit harder is the fact that he was, he reminded me, he just like us, like
Yeah.
me and you. There's a guy who wants to be something. Is a kid who wants to be something, and his life got taken away by stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? How'd you feel about it, Jeff? Tell me how you feel about
I'm
it.
sad because I'm not gonna lie, the most recent time of me watching this movie was last semester. I was in my dorm room and it was like me and four other niggas. And it was like that was the scene that was on like when we was all in the room. And it was just like, damn. And you know what's crazy? I made it a personal connection just because, bro looked like us, but I it didn't even really register that he was going to be a college student. Like we were like me, you right, like you and I are really like in the same position as bro.
Yeah, like
Shit,
I know a
yeah,
bunch of
shit
Rickies.
bad.
I know a bunch of Rickies. I know a bunch of Treys, but I know also a couple of Doughboys. But they're not like bad people. They're just stuck in a bad situation.
Right.
And like Ricky's death, man. Like what makes this movie so powerful is, and this is what John Singleton was trying to point out, is that people who are not from the area, you know what I'm saying, we watch the news a lot and we hear and see these stories about kids like Ricky. And for today's time, young kids getting killed and stuff like that, and people getting killed. Still to this day, especially
Mhm.
in Charlotte, people getting killed left and right. Young kids getting killed, and we hear about oh man, and then we kind of get used to hearing
Yeah,
these
almost
stories.
got me good.
So yeah, it's pretty much like okay, you know, it's kind of a repetitive thing. But what makes Boys in the Hood a powerful movie is the fact that you see the everyday stories
Mhm.
of what we see on the news,
Yeah.
and that's what makes the movie powerful. Because we hear about these victims, but oh man, we don't know them, so we can't really like. It's sad and we sympathize, but we can't make that personal connection because we really don't know them. But then we watch a movie like Boys in the Hood, and
Mhm.
we're following along with these characters, and some tragedy like that happens that we hear and see all the time on the news, and we personally experience what these characters are going through. It makes the movie hit harder.
Real. It especially like in the scene where they where when they were young in the beginning and they came across the dead body, it was like more like, ooh, look at that. Damn, that shit stink. It was
Exactly,
that
you
shit
know,
was
and
like
that was
it's
crazy.
like it's like I know if I came across a dead body, I would be
I'll
like,
throw up.
the fuck? I probably throw up. I just
I'll
what I'm
throw up.
saying.
I'll
Like,
like.
damn.
I'll throw
Especially if
up.
it got a smell to it, bruh. And they was like, oh, they was really just like, oh shit. And then they was that Boys in the Hood? Yeah, it was Boys in the Hood. And because when they walked past the murder scene,
Hmm.
yeah, it just but they were and that was like they was young as fuck too. And like I think that was just like the start of it, like the start of, I guess it was like that was a good ass opening. That was a good ass opening because it was just like
No, that's not the
they was
open. That's
walking
like.
from school because they was like walking
But
from school.
did you also notice? Did you also notice? Okay, this is what I also noticed watching the movie again. You remember you hearing them the people the dudes talking in the beginning, right? And he talking about they're gonna get whoever they were trying to get, and they did a drive by, right?
Hmm.
Do you realize that's the crime scene that happened?
That was the same one.
That was the same one. You hear them talking again, open the scene. There's an F that, and they drive by. The little boy said, "Shot my brother, shot my brother." That was that crime scene that the kids visit. The kids went to. That was the crime scene that you hear in the opening scene. Cause it happened recently.
I don't even
Uh,
see that connection. It's
yeah.
crazy.
And did you also realize that John Singleton has some powerful shots that had a message? So when we finally opened the movie up, the first thing you see is that stop sign, right?
Hmm.
Did you realize he was saying stop the violence with that stop sign? That's what he was doing. Immediately once you hit the gunshots and it opens up, you see the stop sign. It was the message of him talking about stopping the violence in the black community.
It's cold.
That's that right.
It's cold.
And another thing that I don't know if you paid this movie's so deep. Did you realize when they went to school, it faded to them in class? Did you realize the drawings that he was showing?
No.
The drawings, go look back at the drawings. The drawings on the wall were them kids drawing what they saw every day in their neighborhood. And it pretty
I
much
gotta see
was
the, I probably gotta see the drawings again. Like I was saying, like I like it's probably been a year since I watched this motherfucker.
so you okay, so the drawings on the wall, you see the kids were drawing helicopters, you see the gang violence, and you see coffins and black people drawings in the
Mm,
coffins. Basically, what the kids were drawing, because basically, especially they, I think like first or second grade, basically they had to draw everything that they know in their daily lives. Because we did that at elementary school,
yeah.
so those kids drawing those dark things was really deep. Because it just
Hmm.
shows you what these kids see every single day in the neighborhood in South Central. And it was like, damn, that's crazy, that's deep. And that's something that John Singleton was pointing out, is that it affects these young kids as well. And this is all they know. And then when they grow up, they act on it because this is all they know. They don't know anything better.
Right.
Um, let's talk about the father figure. Lawrence Fishburne did actually excellent job playing what's his name? What's the character's name?
Nigga name.
His name was something. Um, Furious. His name was Furious.
We'll never guess that. What the fuck?
Yeah, Furious Styles. So that was a great character, man. That was a great character, and I like the fact that John Singleton made the main character had two parents separated or divorced, whatever, but they co-parent with Trey and want the best for Trey. And the reason why I think John Singleton did that was because I think he was trying to show the difference between how a kid could be with a father and with a mother and a loving parent
Mhm.
compared to somebody like Chris and Doughboy, who the mother despises Doughboy but favors Ricky.
Right. She hates that.
So she hates the dad. She hates Doughboy's dad, so she hates him. And all the
Mhm.
anger built up on the dad was to the child. And you see how he turns out to be. How he turns out. So it was really smart for how John Singleton wrote this script about how the parenthood is a major factor of these kids because Doughboy gets into the streets because he don't have no loving mother, so he looks for another love, another support system, which is his boys who are doing stuff they had no business doing. Compared to Ricky, who wants to be a football player and he wants to be something because he's encouraged by his mother. So it's a parallel between Trey and Ricky with loving parents compared to Chris and Doughboy, who really don't have any support system. And so they look for other stuff to do because they feel they have nothing really to really lose or, just nothing to gain from it because it's not like the mom will get on him. It's
Mhm.
like the it's sad because the mom literally tells Doughboy you ain't shit as he's brushing his hair. And as a kid, he's walking around like he doesn't care. But deep down, it does affect him, though. He's
That
a
shit fuck
child.
with
Yeah, like how you gonna talk to a child like that? So it's
her.
really smart to have Trey having a father figure who teaches him stuff, and and actually that scene when they was going fishing, that scene when she was going fishing, that was a really powerful. That was really a great scene
Mhm.
of him talking about the background story and fatherhood. It was really dope how he talked about. He was like, any fool with a dick could make a baby, but only a real man could take care of his child.
Yeah.
And I said that was some real stuff that he was speaking, and it's still relevant to this day because you still got a lot of people, a lot of men being absent fathers. So that was really so. Talk to me about the parents. So how'd you feel about the parents and Dope Boy, not being loved by his mother?
Just I feel like everything, especially what you pointing out, everything like the symbolism, um, the directory, the imagery, and with the depiction of the parenting, I feel like I don't know. I definitely gotta watch this. I definitely gotta watch it again just to absorb it more because with the way that he wrote the parents, yeah, it seemed everything feel like everything was like 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 intentional for real.
Yeah.
Like with the mother, it kind of like hurt seeing like her and the doughboy dynamic because it's like that like you literally see like the difference between him and Ricky. Like
But
you
Dope
really
Boy, man, and that's nothing. Dope Boy is not like a bad dude.
he's not.
He's not a bad
Yeah,
dude because all he really do is sit on the porch and do nothing all day. He don't bother
yeah,
nobody. You
dude,
know what I'm
chill,
saying?
talk shit, drink a 40, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I
Like
mean, he ain't
I
about
don't even
shit,
think I
but
seen him like besides burning niggas. I haven't seen him commit any type of crime throughout the movie until he got arrested as a kid.
he stole something though.
Yeah, but
But
they
he,
and they didn't even show
but
that
he
though.
did that. But you know why he did that? You know why he stole? He stole because he probably wasn't getting fed like that. I mean, he's fat, but
Yeah, how big that
he,
nigga was.
yeah. I mean, how I explain this? He probably stole because he just felt like he just want to do something because like kids going like some kids are born bad, but if you give them love and attention, it's gonna affect them a certain way.
Yeah,
But if a kid's not getting that love and attention, he's gonna do stuff
and he probably gonna
to act out.
yeah, and to probably
Yeah,
get the attention.
yeah.
Yeah, and so it was like and the way that she acted when he like got into the cop car, it was almost like she just acted like she didn't care. Like
Well,
it was
or she was embarrassed, or she was embarrassed because the
that
cops
too,
outside the
maybe.
house, and she knows the neighbors are gonna be talking about
But she didn't have to.
her.
But the way she verbally like digress like just like depress that shit or like suppress that shit was fucked up. Like she shouldn't have did that.
Yeah,
She shouldn't have did that. And with the father figure. Oh, you said his name was Furious?
His name is Fairy Styles.
Like that was it was he definitely was needed because he didn't only try to guide Trey, but he was putting the community on game. Like with the
And
scenes.
he wasn't preachy. It was
No,
really
he
smart.
wasn't.
It was really smart writing of how that scene when it was at the billboard and
Mhm.
he was talking and stuff, and you had those thugs really listening
Right.
because what he was speaking was some truth. Because they started realizing
Everything
they
he
were
was
like,
saying was something that
yeah,
needed to
and
be
then
said.
the kids started realizing, dang, that is true. Like we do have a lot of liquor stores.
Even the old heads was listening to him.
And then, but the old heads blamed the young kids first. He was
Mhm.
like, "Look, these young niggas shooting each other and selling like crack."
Still got on
And he was
their ass.
like, "Well, who's bringing the stuff in here? Who's putting liquor stores? Who like everything in these communities are white owned because the government slash white people are putting these on there. So everything we gotta do is black owned and black businesses, so we can uplift our community."
Right.
And that was really smart how John Singleton wrote that scene for Furious. It's not like he was like, "And God told you no," it ain't like none of that.
This
Because
was
even
his film
because even
debut.
Ricky was saying in the car, he's like, man, that's some deep stuff. Like I wish my brother would have heard that.
Mhm.
Even though he thought that he was he said he's be a preacher or something. Like, no, man, he's real out books. Because and I think that's why Lawrence Fishburne really took on this role because he liked the fact that it was a black man not only being he's not being preachy or nothing, but it was a positive role model to these young
Yeah.
kids. And and it was needed in this film to speak some truth to the message that John Sigmund was putting out because it wouldn't make no sense for a young kid to be saying this stuff because as kids can be smart as they want, but they don't know everything.
Right.
So to have a grown up, you
He
know,
was
who made the mistakes that these kids have made, because Fear Style is still young in the movie. He's in his
he was like
30s.
middle aged. We like in his like 30s.
He's in his 30s because he had Trey when he was 17. So he gotta be like 34, 35.
Yeah.
So that's really young. You know, let's talk about Doughboy for a second. Before we go on to Mental Society. So Doughboy, I really don't like the comparison between Doughboy and Old Dog. I don't like it because those are two completely different characters, and I don't understand why people are comparing these two characters in the first place.
Morally, yeah.
Yeah, because watching
I guess people say that because they feel like they're in the same positions. Like they feel like they're in the same positions and like
no, because
stature. They I mean they
yeah,
are in position in stature.
not really.
They are though. They
No,
not
they not.
I mean like Doughboy just wasn't like as crash out as Old Dog.
Old Dog is a psychopath.
But they were still some thugged out niggas though.
They thugs, but it's a difference between a thug like dope boy and a complete psychotic maniac like Oak Dog.
It wasn't like he was just out there like he was mostly triggered. He was really triggered though. He
He's
wasn't
a
like
psychopath.
but he was triggered. It wasn't like he was just out like doing it just to do it.
He
He was
said it in the
triggered.
car. He said, I don't care. He said it.
Bruh. If you know you crazy, that makes you not crazy. If you know you out,
No. He didn't say I'm crazy. He said I don't give a F.
hey man. But like he ain't just out there and go. He ain't like he was just out blowing brains out.
Because
Nah,
it's not yeah,
hey man,
he did it in
everybody
the opening scene.
is somebody gonna you gonna let somebody talk about your mama? You may not go that. You may not go
I
that.
will cuss them out, but I'm not gonna sit there and blow their whole brains out,
That's what I'm
kill the
saying.
wife,
Like,
steal
hey,
your
bro,
money.
they may have been
And
a little cut different. They may have been a little cut different, but
even Kane, like, what are you
morally, they were
doing?
probably a little. They were morally, they were
Jacoby,
probably cut different. But like,
Jacoby, that man is a murderer.
oh,
He mur
and so is Doughboy,
Dope Boy
murder,
realized what he did was wrong,
but he still
and
did it.
he had a conscience about
But
it.
he still did it. Old dog was hurt when Caden was on the floor on the ground.
That's his best friend. What do you got to do
He
with
felt something
anything?
about it. Yeah.
That
He
man's a
loves his mom.
psychopath.
He clearly loves his mom. He clearly loves his mom, Brandon. He
Who
clearly
loves his mom?
Old dog.
Aldo don't have no damn mom.
He said what you say about my mama.
His mom's probably dead.
So he still care about anybody friend talk about his mama, bro.
He is
Man,
he is a psychopath.
bruh. He that made that no that
Why you stutter?
be as it may, be as it may, be as it may. They have similarities.
No, they do not.
They have similarities. They from the hood. They from LA. They from they carry guns. They kill niggas. They they probably
Oh, the reason why
they
Doughboy
drink
did because they
40s.
killed his brother,
They
his
drink
blood
40s.
brother.
But he still did it though.
Old dog killed people just because
Because he was triggered.
he loved doing this.
Maybe.
Are you okay?
Maybe.
Ain't no maybe. He's psychotic. He's not right in the head. Anybody who murders two people, take the tape and sell it like you show basketball highlights. It's a psychopath.
Bruh. He was different, man. He was just different.
He's not a good person.
He's not a good person, but it's just like that don't make the situations that much different. That don't make that don't
I
make
see if he cussed the Asian dude out, maybe assaulted him. Okay, I guess too far, but okay. No, he committed a whole armed robbery homicide with slides on and a white beater,
and a white beater, but listen,
sagging his pants.
listen, listen, listen. When Kanan got shot, he rode for Kanan. That's a nigga name?
Kane. His name's
Kane. Call him Kanan. Kane. He rode for Kanan when he got shot. Well, he rode for Kane when he got shot. He bust back. Dope Boy did the same thing.
But my thing is, Doughboy didn't go shoot two people over an insult.
He still shot two people for something.
He shot one. Okay. Doughboy had a conscience, and
You
that
think Old Dog is
monologue.
alive? You think Old Dog is alive?
No,
You think
yes,
Old Dog made it through what happened? But
he is alive, doing life in
no,
prison.
no. You think Old Dog lived through? Okay, mine is the movie ending. You think Old Dog is alive today? You think he's
Yeah, he's
alive?
alive in prison.
He alive?
In
I
prison.
think he's alive. So you
And
think
alive in
Old Dog is
prison.
gonna live, but you think Dope Boy gonna die? You think
Doughboy
Dope Boy
is
gonna
dead.
die? That's what I'm saying. So you think Dope Boy gonna die and Old Dog not gonna die? Bro,
Old dog is
I can
doing life in
guarantee.
prison.
I can guarantee, man. Maybe. I forgot about
Maybe he got arrested in the
get them for the
movie.
tape. Man, let's go ahead and talk about. We might as well talk about Men's Society at this point.
No, we're gonna finish Dope Boy. Dope Boy. So Dope Boy, on the other hand, he was a criminal. He was a Crip, but yeah, those are Crips. And the people who killed Ricky were Bloods. If you didn't realize that. So Doughboy, he's a powerful character because he's a young man who never been loved, and what he did after he got revenge for his brother, he realized what he did was wrong. He realized it didn't make anything better, and that it was kind of like he realized that his fate is pretty much sealed. He knows there's going to be a repeated cycle, and that somebody will come get him because he killed people that is probably really, really they bloods. He killed the blood, so it could be people out there looking for him because it's gonna be rumors going around on the street that Doughboy and people are the reason why these three dudes are dead.
Hold on.
So
Keep going.
yeah. And I like how. Did you realize how Doughboy was very protective over Ricky?
Say it again.
Do you realize how protective Doughboy was over Ricky? He was very protective. He was very protective.
Mm-hmm.
He always protected Ricky. I don't think Ricky and Doughboy had the best relationship because we never got really any scenes of them two together without Trey. Like every time we seen them together is with Trey or with the other crew. We never seen them two talking like one on one. Like we never got those scenes. I don't think they had the best relationship. Like they're brothers and they acknowledge each other, but it's not like they're close or anything. You know what I'm saying? Because they're two different lives.
Yeah.
But yeah, how'd you feel about Dope Boy? Huh?
Movie showed that perfectly.
Yeah, like they like they never had a scene with them two just sitting there talking or interacting. Every time they do is with Trey or the other crew around.
Mhm. I feel like that was for like good reason. Especially for like even for like when they like were around each other and how protective he was. It just showed like shit. You could even say like he was trying to make sure his brother got to where he was trying to go or got
Yeah,
and like and was making sure his brother would just didn't fall victim to the same lifestyle that he did.
but he had to worry about that. He just had to make sure that nobody messed with him because Ricky's not built in the same cloth as Doughboy.
Yeah,
Doughboy can handle himself. Ricky really can't.
he wasn't no punk when they was
No, he ain't no punk, but he's not built in the same cloth as like who Doughboy is and who Ricky ran into. You
exactly.
know what
But
I'm
it's
saying?
just like but I feel like they like showed that. And that's just like
Yeah, they showed that. And
and
even after Doughboy and Ricky got to that fight, and Doughboy really figured out what was going on, and they were looking for Rick. He jumped to the quickness to go save Rick as much as possible, as fast as possible. He just got there too late because it's a big neighborhood. He's trying cutting corners, trying to find where his brother and Trey at,
Mhm.
and he didn't make it in time. You know what I'm saying? Once they heard a gunshot, they just followed the noise
Right.
and found his brother dead. He wasn't crying or anything. We found his brother. He just like, I guess, like for Doughboy it's a little different. He's not as emotional as like Trey, but like when he found his brother dead, he just like he don't know how to process that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He don't know how to process his brother's death, so he's kind of like I like
He
how
was
Ice
like put him in the car. He didn't know what
yeah,
he
like Ice Cube,
out.
Like Ice Cube was like calm and collected and like trying to make sure everybody is good, but
Yeah.
I could tell in Doughboy's head he's processing a lot of stuff. Like
Hmm.
everything's happening so fast and everything's chaotic. He's just not really thinking clearly. You know what I'm saying? And it's also a deleted scene of Doughboy looking for Trey. And Fury is like standing in front of him. He was like, "Yo, you can't come in here." And Doughboy said, "What happened to you, man?"
No.
Yeah, you saw that. Yeah. So like, if they put that in the movie, I mean, it really won't work. But you really can tell that Doughboy really he's really him and Trey are really processing what's really happening right now. Like it's like they're kids and they're experiencing their brother and their best friend murdered, blood all over the freaking couch. Got the
Blood on them.
girlfriend, got the girlfriend and the mom wailing. The baby's crying because everybody's screaming and stuff. So like
Old dog was even trying to get the baby. Like he was trying
Doughboy.
to Doughboy was even trying to get the baby and
Yeah, he like he don't need to be seeing this. He don't need to be seeing this. But
Mhm.
the she's not thinking clearly. Like everything is just chaotic, and that's what makes the movie like powerful, man. It's like it's real. Like this is how people really act. Like this is what people go through. But you hear on the news and you hear about the families and all that stuff, but you're really not gonna connect with them because you don't know these people. But the movie really shows the inside of the situation of a loved one being murdered.
Old dog's last
Doughboy.
Doughboy. But you see, you can understand. You can understand.
No.
Okay. Anyways, Doughboy's last statement in the movie, even it said it's basically it really says what the movie was really trying to say. Like either they don't know, don't show, or don't talk about what's going on in the hood, bruh. And Rob Sing no, John Singleton. I feel like bro really like he did his thing with this shit. I think he really just the movie really puts it all in your face and it almost puts it all into perspective from like you said the symbolism,
Hmm.
uh the writing, just with like the locations, um gang problems. The nigga that then and what's crazy, I'm like like a crazy element is like from the nigga that shot Ricky, the actor that shot Ricky in the car, the one that pulled the damn sawed off.
He dead.
Okay, yeah, that nigga was
He
a that
dead.
nigga really.
He was really about that. He
He was
died.
about that shit, and I don't know. That makes it sadder. That makes that
The
shit
guy with the
sadder.
pacifier in his mouth, he died. Not too long after
Damn, I didn't
not
even
too
know that.
not too long after Poetic Justice, I think. If I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken, yeah.
even with them showing that, like, bro, like you like how that shit really go? Cause you never would have you never would have thought like you would have seen bro in a wheelchair in the flash forward, like just
But do you realize how Chris ended up in that wheelchair?
then he
They
gets shot,
never they never really said it, but Chris shot himself with that gun,
shot himself.
with that deuce.
Sheesh.
That's my whole theory about that. Because as a kid, he was like, "You want to see my gun? I got it on my bed. My brother gave me. It's a deuce. He gave it to me before he went to jail." And then fast forward, he's in a wheelchair. So I'm thinking he
Shot
shot
himself.
himself and made himself paralyzed.
Damn. That'd
That's
be
my theory. That's my
that'd be
theory
crazy.
on that because that's real. And I like how John Singleton didn't say, "Yo, Chris shot himself." It's like no, he said it in the beginning of the movie when they were kids. He had a deuce in his room,
And they
and
call him
he
don't they
and
call him Deuce?
he the gun is called deuce.
Gun is called Deuce Deuce. They don't and they
Yeah,
still call him Chris.
yeah. Still call him Chris in that
I think
wheelchair.
I'm thinking the South Central.
No, that's crazy legs.
No, it's
Oh,
in
you talking about the gang? You talking about the gang
Deuce,
deuce?
the gang Deuce. Yeah, hell yeah.
No. The gun that he
Called Deuce
had
Deuce.
is called Deuce. He said it. He said, "I got a
Gotcha.
Deuce. It's under my bed." And then fast forward, he's in a wheelchair as a teenager. So my theory has always been Chris shot himself with that Deuce and paralyzed himself because that happens a lot with kids and guns. They don't know how to work them. They don't know how they don't know how to properly use them at a young age, especially untrained like that. So he gun went off and probably shot himself in the leg and can't walk no more.
Ali.
The same thing happened to Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne shot himself with the gun. He was playing with it and stuff and shot himself in the chest.
Hell yeah. He wasn't playing with it though. That nigga put that shit to his heart. That nigga was trying to take it
Whatever,
out.
whatever he was doing. But all right, let's get into Menace to Society. Menace to Society came out in 1993, directed by the Hughes brothers.
Mhm.
This movie stars Tara Turner, Lorenz Tate, Jada Pinkett Smith, MC8. Got Clifton Powell. Good cast, man. Good cast, and great movie. Great freaking movie, man. I have a few problems with this movie, but
Ain't
overall,
Jada Pinkett in this?
yeah, she in this. I said Jada Pinkett Smith. I said Jada Pinkett Smith. Uh, All star cast. Really good cast. 2 years after Boys in the Hood, and this is about Kane. Kane, who is from South Central. And this movie, how we talked about Boys in the Hood, and it's about young average kids trying to make it out. Man Suicide is about niggas. Straight niggas. Straight niggas, none but niggas, all niggas. It is nothing but niggatry here. Like I said, this movie is really about, like I said, it's about thugs, and this is about like criminals doing messed up stuff. Uh, so let's talk about a few problems that I have with this movie. I feel like my personal opinion, Tyra Turner did a great job playing Kane. I feel like he brought a lot of emotions to the character. I feel like he did a lot of subtle things that make you feel for the character, acting wise. But as a character on paper, he's not as deep as Trey, Ricky, and Dope Boy.
You know, I feel that way. I low key feel that way too. I feel
Yeah,
I feel like I feel
and
like
I also think that the side characters outshine the main character.
but you know what? You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy though? You don't think it was intentional?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think it was intentional?
No, I
Think
think
about how
Lorenz.
it think about
I
how
think
it
I
almost tell the story as if the side characters are telling like Kane. It's almost like it's almost like the movie isn't telling King's story, but they're showing his story because the nigga's dead. Think about it like that.
That really doesn't like justify them characters outshining him though.
But it kind of do though, because it's like you see his life and you see and you see the lives around him.
Yeah,
And
I get that, but I feel like it's not. I feel like Kane doesn't have a lot to him though. On paper, he doesn't have a lot to him, like how Trey, Ricky, and Doughboy had a lot going for them. Kane doesn't have a lot going for him, so I can't really root for Kane because Kane really doesn't have nothing for me to root for him for.
yeah, but I feel like now that you say that though, I feel like that shit had to have been intentional. Cause
I don't think so. I think
him being dead at the end, that didn't fuck you up.
no. I'm not
That didn't
saying
fuck you
that.
up though.
I didn't say that. I think Kane dying at the end and the narration that was very powerful. That was really dark. But throughout the movie, he's not a bad dude. I mean, he kind of is. Like I'm iffy about him. Like he's complicated, but overall for the character and as an audience member, I really don't feel nothing for him like that. I can't really root for him because like I rooted for Trey, Ricky, even Doughboy to make it out okay because all they really want to do is make it past 21.
Right.
But Doughboy really want to make it past 21. Trey and Ricky want to get out of the hood. They want to be successful men. They want to own businesses. They want to do all that type of stuff. They want a positive lifestyle. They don't want that negativity of South Central killing each other. They don't want to be stuck in there. They want to be out of that situation. And you feel that for Trey, especially Trey when he was swinging his arms with the Nia Long scene with Nia Long in the house. You feel his frustration because you feel that frustration because he just got a gun pointed at him by a cop that he mad as a
Like,
kid, and then you hear gunshots.
I'm thinking
Oh,
he
you
wasn't
think
black
about
in the
Bernie
hood.
Mac?
Yeah. The cop wasn't black in Boys in the Hood, was he?
He was black. He was
He was
very
black.
black.
He was black. Okay. Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
was
yeah,
poke
yeah,
they
yeah.
was poking fun of that
Yeah,
as a
hell yeah.
parody movie.
Satire. Satire.
But then, like you hear gunshots every other second. You can't have no peace of mind, and you feel that for these characters, and you
Hmm.
realize that Trey and Ricky they go to school. They're taking SAT testing. They trying to go to college. They trying to like get out, and you feel that you want them to get out. You gotta get a character something they want, so the audience can be like, okay, let's
So you
see if you're gonna get it or not.
so you're basically saying you don't know, like you just didn't feel like he didn't have like a motive. Like you
I feel like he had a motive.
I feel
And I get if you made the character a lost cause, because that could be powerful too.
hmm
But I could see that they were trying to make him a lost cause, like he really didn't know what he wanted to do. But then
hmm
he'll do some shady stuff like rob a dude for his rims and his pager and money. And it's like, okay, it's hard for me.
and made the nigga buy a cheeseburger.
Like I can't really root now because you're doing criminal acts. It's like I really can't.
Yeah.
I, I really can't root for you now because you stole niggas stuff.
But wasn't it like all he knew? Like he wasn't like wasn't that all he knew though? Like what else could he have?
He he knows that, but I don't understand why characters want him to get out the hood so bad because he has nothing to him for
Right.
people like you need to get out.
That's real.
I mean,
Yeah, that's right. I ain't gonna lie.
it's harsh to say. It's harsh to say, but Trey
Was he in
Ricky
school?
he so the story is in Men's Society was he was graduating.
He was graduating.
He was graduating, so
Was he
he's
the
like
only one
seven.
in school? Was he the only one in school out of them? At all of them?
Yes, he was. So he's probably like
Damn, he was the
17.
only nigga still in high school?
Yeah, because old dog never went to school.
Okay,
He's a minor. He's 15. I don't know how the cops didn't find his butt yet. But yeah, everybody else is older than him though. Everybody else, MC8, the football dude,
how old is he
Sharif.
though? Old dog just dropped out. Old dog, yeah. Old dog just dropped out.
He probably never went.
Probably not.
Yeah, and he's 15. He's 15 years old. Uh, and Sharif was in school, but it's not really about Sharif.
Right?
Um, so yeah, Kane was graduated. The movie takes place in the summer after, so the school just ended. And it's basically in the summer.
I mean, yeah, but then I guess there is that element, same element with Ricky. But
But Ricky was a
just with
foot.
Ricky not
But
being,
listen, but listen, Ricky was a football star. To the high school football
I
superstar.
think it was really,
He
yeah,
had a
bro.
kid. And he had a girl that he loved, and he knew he had a responsibility to take care of his son and his loved one and his mom as well, who loved him dearly. So he felt like he had people behind him, and he feel
I,
he.
and I think that, and I think that's it. I think that's it. I think that's it.
What do you mean?
No one was behind Kane except for the people that needed to be behind him, like his
And
community.
I'm not. And I'm
And
not
I
saying.
feel like, I feel like, and I
And
feel
I'm
like
not
that. I
saying.
feel like as the audience, I feel like as the audience, right? It's kind of hard because it's like there's not a lot to him, but I feel like it was just that he had that chance or that possibility. Like he had that like
But he
opportunity.
don't know. But he don't know what he wants to do. And like I said, if they were trying to make him a lost cause, that's fine. But then you can't go around and do criminal acts and expect me to root for you. I just can't do it. Cause okay, if you're a guy who's a criminal, he's not psychotic like old dog, but if he's doing criminal acts, I just personally understand why the characters in the movie are trying so hard to get this man out. There's nothing really much to him for everybody like he gotta get out. Like, nah,
Really, yeah. I
he
mean, because he was still in. Like he ain't drop out. He ain't drop out, did he?
no, he was graduating.
He graduated.
But after you graduate, it's not like he's going to school or anything. It's not
But
like
they still wanted him to because it was. I guess it was just like I guess that frustration was just a part of it with him
but
being
what
with him
but like I said though,
playing.
but Kane had nothing going for him for me to root against him. It's not they never really showed any other abilities than him like just being a guy. That's pretty much it. He don't have anything else to
I
him.
mean, but
I don't
aren't you just a guy? Aren't I just a
no,
guy?
I'm not just a guy. I'm a filmmaker and I love
You're
movies
still,
and I'm a curator.
but at your heart, you're still just a guy. What's the
I
guy?
am a simple guy, but I have skills and stuff that I could do to change the world.
He
You
could rob,
have skills,
he could rob a nigga and put a nigga at gunpoint
but I'm
for
saying
attempted murder.
you have talents, you got
But it's
skills that
just,
you could do.
but but like, see what I'm saying is like, I think like, I think he was, I see, like I gotta watch these two. I really should have watched these two movies before. I've been trying to keep up with the show that we will be talking about in the future. But like, I feel like that frustration that you have. I feel like I don't know. In a sense, his character was written for that, and like with him just being just a guy and having just that small chance, that small nugget of chance of being able to like get out of that situation, get out of that lifestyle, or like just evade that lifestyle in any way. I feel like that was enough. Just like on like a human level. Just like on a human level for real.
I get it because
Like just like on human a black man level. Like
I think what they were trying to do with this character, I think they were trying to get him to realize that he needed to get it out, and by the time he realized it was too late.
too late. Too
And
motherfucking
I get that, and that's very
ghost
powerful.
telling the story.
But I just feel like they should give more elements, more layers, more depth to this character. I feel like they didn't give enough to him for me to be like I feel for this character.
I feel that.
I just feel like they didn't give him enough. Like Trey, he has a father figure, but he's not. He's not. I'm saying it's two different movies. I'm not saying it gotta be the same thing, but Trey wants to get out. Trey is smart. Trey has stuff going for him. and Trey wants like to get out, like I say he just wants to get out. He wants to do something with himself. Like they don't show anything that Kane. I don't know if Kane is smart or not because it's just
Okay, so
like
yeah, so it's like, but like, yeah, like you say, like with them to being,
they don't show no
as you said,
potential for Kane.
I think that's the point, though. I think that's the point.
No,
Though. I think that's a sad
that's
point.
not.
Like how you said with them being two different movies, they're two different protagonists. Like
I'm not saying it gotta be the same thing, but give him layers, give him stuff, give him elements, give him stuff
he had
for me
he
to be like,
had
that's
he
interesting.
had layers, but
No, he
it was just
didn't.
really
He
narrated
didn't.
more so
No, he didn't. He
portrayed.
didn't have no. He did not. He did not have any
I
layers
mean,
to the
he was a
character.
nigga that graduated. He was a nigga from the hood that graduated that got shot
That's boring.
and really is trying to figure himself out. And
Okay, say that then.
I guess he figured. And I guess that was, but they showed that
But he can't
once he was trying to get up out of there.
but he can't
Nope.
figure himself out. He can't figure himself out and then rob somebody the next time. It's not gonna
But
make
that's
me
all
root
he
for
was
him.
around. No, it's all he was around. It's all he seen. It's all he knew. It's all he knew.
Trey and Ricky, that's all they saw. You don't see them doing crazy stuff like that.
But they
Even
had,
Dopa had his own
but
car.
he ain't had, but like he was with like he saw his daddy shoot a nigga, man. He saw his daddy shoot a nigga, man, and his daddy died, and then his mama died too. He ain't got nobody.
I'm just
His
saying.
grandparents, and so by the time he
I'm
got,
just saying they trying to have it both ways, and I feel like it doesn't work. If you made him a criminal, and that's all he knows. I mean, I
he
don't
was set
know.
up to fail.
I just feel like
I feel like he was set up to fail.
it was no other stuff to him.
But he was set up to fail though. Like
Like
I
Doughboy,
feel
like
like
but you could tell Doughboy and Boys in the Hood, he was he was smart because when it was on the porch talking and stuff, you could tell he was more mature than the rest of his friends on the porch. Like when he was telling his friend Chris, he was like, "You ain't supposed to go to college to look for no girl. You supposed to be learning something." Like you
right.
could tell that Doughboy has some type of maturity to himself.
But Brandon, like you said, they two different movies. So
I'm not saying that.
I think you gotta take away two different like things.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying this the way I connected with these characters in Boys in the Hood. I don't feel the same way for Menace to Society characters because Menace to Society characters don't have nothing to them but them being freaking just like
Ain't that like sad
But
though?
hold on. But Goodfellas, when it comes, I compare Goodfellas to Menace to Society because Goodfellas is about a bunch of criminals,
I,
and
I gotta watch.
as
I know
much.
it's I never watched it.
But okay, but you have anybody who watching this know what I'm saying. Joe Pesci character is very similar to Old Dog character. They're both psychotic, both terrible people. Fine. Then you got Henry Hill, the main character, who will do criminal acts. He knows he's a gangster, but he won't go as far as just murder people just to murder people. And you can tell he has a conscience. Kane does have a certain conscience, but then at the end of the day, like Henry Hill is dumb. He does some dumb stuff in the movie, and he has to figure out a way to
Is that
get.
the actor in that movie that passed?
Yes, he in the movie he does dumb stuff, and he has to figure out a way to get out of the situation. That's the moral of the story. Is that
Okay.
the criminal lifestyle is not going to be. It's going to lead to a darker road. When it comes to Kane character, he listens to people. I feel like he doesn't want it for himself. He just does it because people are telling him to do it, and that's not a strong character in my opinion. Like Old Dog, like when you think of
You feel
mental
like he was
society,
like you feel like he was like living a thug life because people was telling him to do it.
yeah, I think so. I think
He was,
so.
he was
But then he won't go as far as just showing people murder tapes. So he's not a complete he's not like Kane is not like crazy.
no
He just does stuff. He's easily influenced. And there's nothing he really doesn't have a backbone to him.
show.
And that's kind of like the problem because it's like he just don't know what he wants or it's nothing to him to be like, man, I really like if this movie was about Sharif, which is not, but if the movie was about Sharif and his change to Muslim. I felt more bad for Sharif when he got killed. Spoilers when he got killed because I knew his story. He was a guy who got into stuff and he turned
Was
Muslim.
that's the dude that got shot with him?
Yeah,
You
So
know,
yeah,
Tupac be in this movie.
I want to talk about that too a little bit. So, do you know the whole story?
I just know the character he was supposed to play. That's it, really.
So Tupac. So they said that Tupac had a problem
Was he
with
in the case because of the kid? Because his go ahead. Was it because of his case? Was it because of his
his
case?
case.
I think he was supposed to be in a movie, but he had a case
That
going.
was higher learning. He was supposed to be in higher learning.
What?
He was supposed to play Omar Epps' part, and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Hey,
And Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to play what's that dude name? The famous New Yorker, the tall white
Michael
dude.
Robert.
He Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to play him. The Michael dude was supposed to play the older Nazi dude. That was supposed to be the cast. So yeah, that was the movie. Um, but Tupac was supposed to play Sharif, but it was different stories going around. It was stories that he wanted to be old dog. It was story. I think the more realistic story that MCA told was that he felt like Sharif should have been explored a little bit more
Hmm.
in the movie. He felt like he should show it should have been shown in the movie why he turned Muslim. So that was kind of like the fallout and stuff like that. Um, I don't think Tupac was right in that situation. I don't think he was right
Well,
because
I don't remember Sharif too much until like
I remember Sharif.
he stayed with her and until he got shot for real.
I remember Sharif. Sharif was a good character. I don't because the story's not about Sharif. It's about Kane.
Mhm.
Sharif is a side character. You don't
Right.
need to show the audience why the side character became Muslim. It's not about him turning Muslim. It's
That's right.
about he just has a friend that is Muslim. That's it. Like
And he didn't need to play old dog either, because
no, you play no old dog.
man,
And I'm so sick of
he already
people.
had what's the name in Juice.
I'm sick of people talking about yeah he should have been old dog. Tupac been great. Just because he's Tupac, that don't make it a great casting.
And especially how old was he in 91 or 93? Because it wasn't old dog.
Tupac was like 20. He was 20, 20 something, early 20s.
Was he as young
Lorette,
as he looked? Did he look as young that he's looked in Juice?
mm, at that time,
Was
probably
he
not
in
because he
Juice?
was bald. He was bald at that time.
How was he in Juice? Oh, in 93 he was bald.
Yeah, he was bald. That I get around. That's when that shit
Okay.
came out, and he
Yeah.
did Poet Justice. So he was already bald.
Mm.
Uh, but he was Tupac was 19 when he did Juice. That came out 92. But you got to do a year prior. So the movie came out. He's probably like 20. So he's probably like 21 in 93.
Yeah, pulled it off.
My math might be off, but I'm going with early 20s.
About
But
to.
Lorenz Tate was actually 18, 19 when he played Old Dog, and the character is supposed to be 15 years old.
Yeah. And Lorenz Tate just a little nigga. Lorenz Tate always just been a
No,
little.
he just looked young. He just looked young, but
Yeah.
it fits the role because Lorenz Tate, because he did the Disney stuff. So going in here, he just looked like a teenager.
What Disney shit he what Lorenz
It
Tate been in?
it was some show. It was some show that I saw on YouTube. I gotta send you that stuff. But yeah, Lorenz Tate, it fits with Lorenz Tate. Lorenz Tate was born to play old dog. He did a great job playing that role. You need actors. Stop getting and that's my problem with black filmmakers and the black movie stuff. Stop hiring rappers to play certain roles because their image in the music. That don't mean it's gonna be a good role for them. Hire freaking actors. And because
Mike Lee doing that recently. He's doing that with ASAP Rocky.
But A$AP Rocky is not a bad actor.
I've never seen him act.
He,
Or Ice Spice. Ice Spice in this movie too. That's coming
oh
out.
my god, it better be a small role. But because the Allen Hugh brother, one of the directors, said they was gonna cast Easy E to play Old Dog.
Yeah, but you know, they shoot music videos. You know, they probably feel like
No, that's stupid. Why would you hire a 5'3" at the time, late twenties, Easy E to play a 15-year-old kid? That don't make any
they didn't know they
sense.
were trying to get him to play old dog.
Yeah, and like that don't make any sense.
It's funny.
Like no. They ain't talking about Ice Cube to play Old Dog. Like no.
They was trying to get any rapper.
It's like stop. Like they made a great decision hiring a real actor to play a 15-year-old kid.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. but back to what I was saying. What was I saying? But yeah, so
You were talking about Kane. You were talking about Kane's. You were talking about how.
yeah, like Kane, like oh, the Tupac thing. So I just felt like Tupac was wrong in the situation. I feel like Tupac had no like he could express his feelings, but talking about he needed to express his character more. No, that made no sense. He's a side character. There's no reason for it's already a long movie anyway.
And it was already established with just with him being Muslim, just with him
Yeah,
being.
he's just Muslim. He got some stuff. He turned Muslim. He so as an audience member, like you
Yeah.
could just guess like he's got some stuff. And he's like it just changed his ways. You don't need to explore that. You're not the main character.
Mhm.
Like or he's not the co-character. So like no, it don't make no sense. So I think Tupac was wrong in that situation. So I know people. I know I read the comments on MCA talking about that. You know they're gonna dick ride Tupac, but
Yeah.
as much I love Tupac, he was wrong in that situation. So, um, but yeah, but the actor who played Sharif did a great job in my opinion. It was
Yeah.
great casting. Um, my favorite scene in the whole movie is not with the gunfights. It's not none of that stuff. It's the classroom scene with Sharif's dad. That actor who he's from The Rock and he Rock, the
What
sitcom
scene
Rock.
are you talking about?
The classroom scene with his
This
Sharif
is
and his
society.
dad.
Society.
Yeah, with him
Oh,
and his dad. Cause I think his dad's a teacher. Um,
I don't remember it. I
and
don't remember that scene.
and well, I'll seen that later. But anybody who watches this video knows what I'm talking about. It's a scene in the movie where Sharif is after the cookout scene, and Sharif and his dad are in the classroom and they're talking. And they were talking about like, you know, you gonna go to Kansas, man, you a white girl. He like, man, what you talking about? I'll take you out and fight you right now. And Kane pops up and man, it was such a deep and powerful short scene. So basically the dad was telling Kane like, yo, what you gonna do? Are you gonna be around and get yourself killed like your cousin? He was like, you gotta understand, you are a black man in America. You already got bad enough anyway. Like, don't make it more difficult than it already has. He was like, you got,
The scene
yeah,
right here.
that's it. Yeah, that's it.
I don't remember this one.
Yeah,
Or-
you got to it's a very powerful scene, man. That actor who played, got the actor's name. He has a sitcom called Rock.
Rock, yeah.
Yeah, and he also is in Low Down Dirty Shame. He's a very great actor. I don't know why he's not in a lot more stuff. He's in a lot of stuff, but he should be like more mainstream because he's a very powerful actor. But in this scene, he was just like his eye. He was like the hunt is on.
The hunt is on.
You're the prey. It was such a deep, powerful scene because like that's what Kane needed to hear. He don't
Mhm.
need to hear his grandfather talking about Jesus or like no. He need to hear the truth, like the truth that. And he said in a way that got Kane like damn near scared. He was like, shit, like God,
Mhm.
you know. So that's my favorite scene in the whole movie is just that classroom scene with his dad is like this really breaking it down to him like you're a black man in America. Like
Yeah.
survive. Like find a way, do anything you have to do to survive and get out of the streets, man. Because it's gonna lead you to what your cousin, like the fate of your cousin, getting shot and killed.
Mhm.
So yeah, watch that scene, man. It's very powerful scene. Uh, but yeah, so Men's Society is a great movie. So let's wrap this up. So what movie you think is better?
Boys in the Hood, really. Just with how it's directed, the element of it, uh, the look of it, the
They're both well
nostalgia.
shot movies, so I'm not gonna say the cinematography is not.
But just
Both of
like
them are well shot movies.
But just with like the color of it, I always think of like when I think of Menace to Society, I always think of the color blue. When I think of Boys in the Hood, it seems real, it feels real colorful. Um like I don't know if I always the symbolism, man. I really gotta watch that movie again.
Yeah,
And you're right.
man.
This
The
is
yeah.
just like with a lot of the shots and stuff, the writing of the movie, like
Hmm.
how deep they getting with to like a lot of the characters. It's a long movie, bro. That's probably like one of the reasons like I haven't really
I don't think Boys and Hood is I think Men's Society is a lot longer than
think it's
Boys and
longer.
Hood. I think a little bit longer.
Longer. They touched on a
Hmm.
lot in Boys in the Hood from childhood
But I think
to
they did
like
in like short period of time. Maybe because I enjoy it so much, it don't feel as long. But I think Men's Society is a little bit longer. It has a lot more going. It's a lot more going on in Men's Society than Boys in the Hood.
yeah. And I think I also feel like both of them are sad, but like
Dark,
Menace to
very
Society,
dark.
yeah, but man, I feel like Menace to Society is dark as hell just with the ending, and it's just like it's not as enjoyable because of the ending. And I feel like yeah, realizing it now, talking about it, I feel like yeah, I feel like it was a little purposeful, especially like with how
Hmm.
Kane was written and his fate, and yeah,
I think Boys in the Hood is a better movie. Uh, it's an overall better movie, and it's impacted not in black cinema but in cinema period. Like
no,
a
that's this is
lot of
film.
huh?
He made no movies before that.
No, that was a debut
God
because
damn.
he just graduated from college and he wrote the movie in for his writing class and got an
Did
A
him and
plus.
Tupac ever do a movie?
Yeah,
What movie they do?
Poetic Justice.
I didn't know he did Poetic Justice. I didn't know
That's
that.
his movie.
That's what's up. Cause I
Yeah,
see them together and stuff.
they were supposed to do a lot more movies. Tupac actually supposed to be in Baby
Oh,
Boy.
no, he was. Oh yeah, I heard that too.
No, he
John
was really supposed to
Singleton did
be
Baby Boy.
he was supposed to be in Baby Boy.
John Singleton did Baby Boy.
That's him.
Okay,
Yeah, John Singleton got classics.
I got. I don't recognize a lot of. I don't think I recognize his like.
His greatness, right? And
No,
he
I
and
know.
he
I
also
know he done
and
did some shit, man. But it's just like
he also
he have
created
like a
Snowfall.
yeah.
He
But
also
like
created Snowfall.
trying to think of like does he have like you know how like Spike Lee like how you said Spike Lee has like the little like the shot like the still
He
shot.
he he don't have nothing like that.
So yeah, so it's just I don't
Yeah, he
know.
don't have nothing like that because all his movies are different.
Yeah.
So uh
So,
yeah, so his movies are different. Um, but I'm gonna say this though, Boyhood is a better movie. It's a masterpiece of a movie. Mental Side is a great movie, but I feel like it has some flaws. That scene when he robbed the dude, I always ask my dad, I said, how did Kane rob the man off his rims? Like, how did that work? Did he tell him to, hey, follow me right quick and get the stuff out the trunk, put it in my like how you rob somebody off their rim? Like
yeah.
I get
In a
I
drive-through.
get, huh?
In a drive-through.
Jacoby, you gotta get the rims off.
That's what I'm saying. Like in a drive-through.
So
That nigga had
yeah,
to work.
so that's like it. Like Mid Society, it's a great movie. It has some flaws, but overall, it's better than most movies that I have ever seen. So,
They did a
but
good Hughes brothers. They did a good job. They
yeah,
got
they
movies
did
like
the
Dead
Book of
Presidents
Eli
was a
too.
good
So
movie.
yeah, they did
What
Book
movies
Book
they
of
got?
Eli. Book of
Book of Eli was
Eli.
good as hell.
Yeah, that was them. They did some other stuff too. Oh, Dead Presidents. That was them.
Dead Presidents, man.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this: if you're a person who likes gritty crime, very violent movies, that's in your face, and you love bloodshed, Men Society is your movie. This movie is very gory. The kills are brutal, way brutal. Like it's like the sound of Kane getting shot and the blood squirting. Like it's brutal. If you like stuff like that, the Man Society is your movie. But if you're a person who likes character development, who likes storytelling, who likes characters that you can root for and deep symbolism and messaging, then Boys and Hood is going to be your movie. But I think Boys and Hood overall is a better movie. But I can still watch both of these
For
and
real.
enjoy them very much. I just think that Boys and Hood is just better. But as a
Enjoyment.
filmmaker perspective, me being as a filmmaker, I just feel like Boys and Hood is an overall perfect masterpiece. I don't think Boys and Hood has any flaws compared to Mid Society, who does have a few flaws. Um, But yeah, so we're both in agreement. Boys in the Hood. I don't want to say this is a GOAT hood movie because I feel like it's more than just a hood movie. I just feel like it's just a masterpiece. You got people
But
you
it
got
is,
people.
oh, it's the hood movie of hood movies though.
It is, but you got
Touches everything.
people. You got people who don't even watch shit like Boys in the Hood are talking about Boys in the Hood. A baby boy who talks about Boys in the Hood. Like you got white people, old white people who been in cinema forever who talk about Boys in the Hood up there with the rest of the classics.
And that shit is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So Boys in the Hood is an all around masterpiece, a perfect movie, man. It's in my top 10 of all time movies. Like you're talking about like people who talk about The Dark Knight, who talk about uh Taxi Driver, who talks about Pulp Fiction and the Shawshank Redemption. Those critics put Boys in the Hood up there with those movies.
You got
So
to. You
it's
can't
just it's just a masterpiece of a movie,
just
honestly.
yeah.
So we're gonna wrap things up, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. This was a great conversation, honestly. But what do you guys think? What's your favorite movie? Boys in the Hood, Mental Society. Please let us know. Comment, like, subscribe, share this with everybody. We try and get this out as much as possible. Please support this channel and please stay safe out there. Things getting crazy. We see y'all next week. Peace out.
Peace.